This is my 2004 Saturn VUE. Like most GM products, it suffers from the horrible fade of the plastic cladding that GM like to plaster all over these vehicles. So just to give it a test and see how it does, I'm trying a new product on the market, relatively new anyway, this JaxWax Black Trim Renew. I've seen a few videos of people using it, but no one has really mentioned the longevity of an application. So the first thing I did was obviously wash the vehicle, and I scrubbed all the cladding down with used a brush to get into the grain as much as possible, and then I followed up by using this Griot's Garage Rubber Prep, which is what everybody highly recommends online. There's many options, but this is just the one I chose because I appreciate Griot's and their other products, so I thought I'd give their product a try. Basically, you wipe everything down with the Griot's to clean it off, and then I went over it one more time because I just got this vehicle, and it's obviously never had anything really done to it as far as a good thorough cleaning or any type of applications on this cladding, so I wanted to clean it really, really well. So I wiped it down twice with the rubber prep, and then went back and wiped everything back off, just to make sure there was no residual chemicals left. And I've already gone with the JaxWax over the other parts of the body. As you can see there, that's drying right now. It does have a dye in it. As you can see, this was a white applicator pad. The plan is that this stuff is going to soak into the plastic. I've heard a lot of people say that you can use a hair dryer, a heat gun, whatever, to bring the oils back up in the plastic, but that's obviously only temporary, and you are basically removing those oils from the plastic. And I've heard that it will fade worse after the fact. A lot of people want to use ceramics, but the ceramics lock the plastic. So if it fades again, you're now stuck with something that's locked in a faded state. So I've preferred I want to use finished solutions, but it didn't come in time, and I just wanted to experiment with this JaxWax. I don't think the JaxWax is as permanent, but I want to find out how long it lasts, because all the videos I've seen, people have just said, oh, I put it on and I either sold the car or someone else has the car. All the follow-ups I've done to see what this product does are non-existent. So I'm going to test it and see how long it lasts, and I'm going to report back with another video. But rather than do the whole application process, which is super boring to watch, I know obviously I'm talking a lot, but I just wanted to give you guys a background on it. But basically it's as simple as coming over here to the vehicle with your pad. You put the solution on there. Obviously gloves are helpful because it is a dye. And you come over here and you will apply it. And you can tape off the body or just be really, really careful as you're doing it, so that you don't get it on the body, or quickly wipe it off with a microfiber. But you can see the massive difference that's making. It's not going completely to black, because I don't think these body panels ever were black, but you can see this is really darkening them up considerably. And you will have to go back, and if you choose not to tape like I did, and wipe everything back off the paint. This is just a lot of cladding to have to tape. As you can see right there, the very strong difference it's already creating. Here's where I am so far. Wanted to show you all, I'm also going to go in there and try and darken that grill back up. Look at that difference right there. It's amazing how faded this stuff is. Just this little bit of dye can make such a difference. Alright, here's where we are after applying everything. That's a reflection, not a light spot. Let's see, I got into that grill. It really helped. I wish I had more room. I'd love to have done this outside, but it decided to rain after I had the car ready to go. But here's a walk around to the areas I've already done. Now, if you have injuries to the vehicle, like this, where that bumper has been flexed, it's not going to take the dye in. I was hoping it would. Sorry, but it's not. You can see there's another one there. But this bumper was as bad as the front. This piece wasn't that bad, but it did have some splotching. And this was all white and nasty looking. I promise the follow-up video will not be in the garage like this. But that's everything that as it's been freshly applied. I haven't done any wiping off of it. I tell you, the vehicle looks so much better. I even applied it to the crossbars that were, that's a spare set I got out of the junkyard. But these were awful. I haven't done it on the edges yet. I wanted to install it first. But you can see just how much nicer that gets. They're just flopping around on the floor too much, so I'm going to wait till I install them to do it. But I did it across the center section because it was white splotched from hard water stains. So this is just what's left in this. It's so saturated. You can see why they tell you to wear gloves. It goes right through the backside. But let me go ahead and let everything dry. I'll check back in with you guys and show you how it stays after a wipe down. Again, have that trusty microfiber nearby to get everything off the paint. Alright, I wiped everything down. That was a brand new microfiber. Cheap Harbor Freight one, but still. Yeah. I didn't think I'd put it on that liberally, but apparently I had. But here is how it looks after the wipe down. You can see the color's still there. There's our nose, looking so much better. There's our grill, still looking dark and black. I think I'm gonna have to go over this with another microfiber, just because there's so much residue. I thought it would soak it in like a sponge, but it did not. Not as much as I thought it would. But of course, this is how we learn things. You can see how my hands, that's just from wiping it off. I didn't think I needed to keep the glove on for that part. And back here in the back, again, where I indicated those damaged areas, It did not absorb. Same here. And a few little bits here and there. And this is some type of goo that's on there that wouldn't come off. The splotchiness appears to have come away from that back portion. Our handle still looks nice and black. This vehicle is entirely too big to be doing this in a garage. But hey, gotta go with the hands we're dealt. And here, no, can't really see with the light like it is. I did the jams as well to keep everything consistent. Granted, they didn't have any fading, but I'd hoped that would keep the transition nice and smooth. See up into the door there. I did not do the mirror because I'm replacing it, but I did do this corner piece. I did wipe a little up there, so maybe that's a bad comparison. Let's walk around to the other side where I did not do that. You can just see where I had a little overlap right there. But you can see how it darkened that up considerably. Again, I did these pillars. It came out a little streaky. I'm not super happy with how those came out, but they weren't really bad. And of course I schmutzed on the glass. The rubber, that doesn't come out shiny, so I'm gonna have to go back with, you know, something like Black Magic or whatever normal product one uses on the rubber trims like that. And again, that was a little overlap. But the rubber, oh my goodness, it really is chalky. Leaves all that chalky black stuff. That's actually from the rubber trim there. Glad I saw that. I'll clean that up right now. But that at least gives you an idea of how it darkens that trim back up. And I will do a follow-up video. This car is going to be a daily driver for a bit. I got to work on the dull sole back there. But just wanted to at least give y'all an idea of how that process worked out. And we'll see what the longevity is on it. Then we are now at the 26th of November, 2023.